Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I want to thank you so much for coming. If you are not new here, thank you for coming back. And you guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel and go ahead and like this video before we start. As you can see by the title, I'm going to go ahead and do a drugstore makeup tutorial for y'all. And I'm going to make it super beginner friendly, because I feel like whenever you're starting makeup, you don't want to go spend a lot of money on makeup. You like, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't want to invest all this money into it. And so many YouTubers make you feel like you can't have a good beat without being expensive, but I'm here to tell you they're wrong. I'm here to tell you they are wrong. So I'm finna give y'all a bunch of cheaper alternatives that you can find at the drugstore, and you can start getting your life. You can start, you know. I'm going to tell you where you can stop if you know you ain't into doing it that much. You just want a few little tips and tricks to, like, you know, bring your face more into the light. Or if you're feeling a little bit more advanced, a little bit more froggy, we're gonna keep it going. So let's jump right into the video. Okay, you guys, so a good primer, people say you don't need primer, some people say you do need primer. It's give or take. I think a good drugstore one will be the e.l.f. hydrating primer, because it's a little more silicone-y. So what it does is kind of like blurs your face a little bit. So you just need a little bit, and I go ahead and put it in like my T-zones, the parts that's a little bit more porous, or I have fine lines or something like that, because I have laugh lines. So I go ahead and put that primer right in those spots. Okay, and then I go ahead and jump into color correcting. I go ahead and use the Peach Corrector by LA Pro Girl. These was the jams back in the day, okay? First off, everybody named Mama had LA Pro Girl, okay? Everybody named Mama. They had 50, 60,000 colors, you know. They didn't discriminate. So I'm going to use the peach one. I'm sorry. If you are a darker shade than me, they do have an orange color corrector, and I think they even have a red one. If you're like dark skin, you know, all that chocolate, they got a red one for you, I feel like. Try not to go OD, but I always tend to go OD even when I don't need that much. I always tend to do it. So with LA Pro Girl concealers, they are a little bit more watery. So if you want a fuller coverage, let them dry down a little bit. I do that with all my concealers anyway, but especially with the LA Pro Girl. They're not as thick of a consistency. So let them dry down a little bit before you blend them out. So then I just use like a little short blending buffing brush kind of, and I just pat it in place. Don't swipe it, just like pat in place. That'll give you the most coverage. Okay, so then when all that is blended out, you see these little pink splashes all over my face. I like to use a translucent powder. Now, this is the main thing that so many YouTubers say you need to splurge on. They say you need to get the Laura Mercier. You know, no. The original formula, the Coty Airspun. I'm sorry, hold on. I got another one because this one is ripped off at the top. Because I want y'all. This one right here. Can you see it? The Airspun powder. You can get this at your local beauty supply, Walgreens, Walmart, anything like that. And what I do is I mix it. I get this one in the original formula, the translucent, and I mix it with the Makeup Revolution in Banana. So I have 2 colors in here. And then what I do with this powder is I go ahead and set my primer in the color corrector. You can use the same brush. So I go ahead and mix those 2 colors so that if I take pictures or something like that, I won't get a lot of flashback or anything. But you can always use the translucent by itself. I don't think you get that much with it. I don't really remember, but I know translucent powder in itself typically gives you a little flashback, so that's why I mix them. But let's keep going. Okay, so normally this is the part where you will wear foundation. If you absolutely feel like you need foundation, go ahead. I don't use foundation. I just skip right into concealer. And that can also help you if you know balling on a budget or you just don't want to spend a lot of money on makeup. I feel like concealer is more essential than foundation to me. So I will go in again with the LA Pro Girl Concealer. These are really good for a really cheap price. I think they're like $3.99 or anything, and you can get them at your local beauty supply. So I'm using the LA Pro Girl Concealer in the color Fine. And I'm just gonna highlight like I normally would. I put it underneath my eyes. I go ahead and put it on top of my eyes as well. Or on my lid. Forehead, a little on the chin. And a little on the Cupid's bow. And I'll put a couple dots just where I put color corrector, just so, you know, everything can blend out. And then you can use another LA Pro Girl concealer to contour, but I prefer using this black opal. It's a foundation stick, and I use it in the color Beautiful Bronze. Now let me tell y'all about this real quick, okay? You cannot find this in the how would I say, the yeah, in those neighborhoods, I couldn't find it, okay? So I had to go to the melanated neighborhoods to find this, but this is bomb. It is a foundation stick, but I go ahead and I use it to contour. Now, the difference between highlighting and contouring, you highlight because those are the places that you want to lighten up and bring attention to. If you take a picture, the light is going to shine right here in the center, so that's where you highlight. And then the places that get the most shadow, which is the cheeks and the forehead and the chin, those are the places that you want to bring back that depth. And I'm pretty sure all the products that I've used so far is under $10, so budgeting queen, budgeting. Okay, so you can stop here. You can stop here, right? And then just blend this out. But one thing I will like to add on top, because if you see this fawn is kind of close to my skin color, so what I like to do is I add a lighter color on top. I'm using the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. This is at the beauty supply as well, or like Walmart or something like that. You can even get it at Ulta. The ColourPop concealer, and I am using the shade Medium Dark, and just add a little bit under the eye. You see how bright that is? Just a little bit. That's personally my preference. You don't have to do that. But it's just to brighten everything up. And I'm going to go ahead and let this dry down some before I blend it out. Okay, so before I go ahead and blend out my face, I like to spray my face with some type of setting spray or something, just so everything can move a little bit better. And also, setting spray is used to set your makeup in place, so you use it while you're, you know, blending everything out. It makes more sense. Jackie Aina put me on, so Jackie Aina has put me on to everything when it comes to makeup. Like, if you don't know who Jackie Aina is, if you haven't checked out Jackie Aina's channel, you sleep, sis. You sleep. Spray that a little bit, and then I'm just using a face brush. What's it called? Yeah, it's called a face brush. So just like a little dense flat brush. And again, to blend out, I'm really just patting in place as I'm moving around my face. And I leave my eyes for last to blend out. So I'm blending out everything but my under eye. Okay, and then I do the same thing for my under eyes, but I'm a little bit more gentle because you know your under eyes are more sensitive. Okay, you guys, all that is blended out. And then what I do is I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up and set my under eyes with that same powder that we used earlier. I'm using a brush. Most times I use a sponge, but I usually go in with a sponge to get any excess makeup off, but I don't really feel like I have any, so I don't need one. I'm gonna use my brush. And when you're setting the under eye, make sure you look up and press right underneath there so you won't get a lot of creasing. So get your powder on your brush, look up, and press. Now you could legit stop here if you wanted to stop as far as your face. Of course, you still have to do something with your brows and stuff like that. But as far as face goes, you could stop here if you wanted to. But for the people that want to do a little bit extra, let's keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and go over my contour with the contour powder. Even though we set in place, this is a contour powder, but the one thing I don't like about this is more red, so it shows up as a more bronzer. So even though it's a contour palette, the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, I use it more so as a bronzer. I don't have a drugstore contour palette or contour powder, so we're just gonna bronze today. You know the difference between a bronzer and a contour, because a bronzer is more red undertones. It just brings more life to your face, while a contour is more gray undertones, so it creates that shadow and that you know, that sucked in look that a lot of people like, including myself, you know, but don't have that, so we're just gonna bronze, which is still great. So I'm gonna dip my powder brush in between the contour and the sculpt shade in this palette, and just go over those same places that I put that that foundation that I use as a contour. Now the thing with applying this, you want to make sure you start back here at the ear, because when you first lay your brush down, that's where the most product is going to deposit. So in order for it not to look muddy and it not to look too like cakey, start back, not forward. Even if you want to start your forehead, I normally go right into my hairline first and then bring it around instead of just like bang in the center, because that's where you're going to get the most deposit of product. Even when I'm doing my jaw, I start back here at the ear and then I bring it down. And then I'm also going to go ahead and do my nose. Make sure you don't put a lot of product. So once you dip your brush, shake it off. Start up here in the brow and just blend your way down. Never deposit like right here in the center, because once again, like I said, wherever you place your brush, as soon as you put it down, that's where the heaviest deposit is going to go. So make sure you just blend it up into your brow. Do the same thing on the other side. And then I like to just put a little line right in between the, what is this, the cupid's bow of my lip. You see that? Yeah. All right. And then what I like to do is, just so everything can blend together really nicely, I like to use this face powder by Black Radiance. It's a soft focusing finishing powder. I don't know how, can you see it? Yeah, and I use the color Golden Almond. So I'm just gonna use a slanted brush, if you can see. And I go over my entire face. Again, all these products can be found at your local beauty supply, your local drugstore, whatever. All right, you guys. That's the face so far. If you don't like highlight, you can skip this part. Again, everything up in, as far as the face, everything plus blending out and setting with powder is all extra steps. You don't have to do these steps. Like I said, you was perfectly fine with blending out your concealers and your contour and setting it with powder. You are perfectly fine after that. But everything up until after that is just extra steps. So I'm gonna go ahead and highlight. One thing I do to make my highlight pop is I use a cream under the powder sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this Maybelline Master Strobing stick. What is this? In medium. I'm just dabbing it on there. I'm making sure not to swipe because I don't want to move any of my makeup. Okay, so I go ahead and I tap that in place, and then I just use the same foundation brush I use and kind of blend it out a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to use this ColourPop Got Me Beaming quad highlighter palette. And what I do is I just dip in all the colors. I don't use like a couple. I use all the colors. I just brush across all the colors. Shake that off, and then you see that? You see what the stick does? Oh, I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. Oh. And I do a little bit above the brow too, so like when you turn your head, it like, you see that? It's like all in that area instead of just one sharp line. And just blend it out. I'm not applying any more product, I'm just blending now. I make sure I put it in my brows and all that. That's why I don't do my brows until the end, because I'm putting so much product over it and around it. All right, so then again, I go in with setting spray. I feel like setting spray is essential. Even if you stopped a long time ago with just the setting powder, I feel like setting spray is essential because it gets the powdery look off your face and makes everything kind of like blend into your skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and set with powder, set with setting spray. Normally I would go ahead and press that setting spray into my face with a sponge, but because I didn't use a sponge, I don't want to add it into there and make you feel like that's something else you need to buy. So just kind of like let it sit into your skin, you know. Y'all see that highlight though? It's going crazy. We'll go in with brows. Another thing that they tell you need expensive for. This is like $1.99, $2.99 from the beauty supply store. What brand is this? This is by Kiss, and it's called Go Brow, and I have it in the color dark brown. Never get black. Like, I don't know who told y'all that. I don't care if your hair is black. Do not get black. You can get the darkest brown you see. You can get a, what is it? Is it brown black? You can even go there. But don't get black because it makes your face look so harsh. Your brows are off black. I don't care how dark your hair is. Your eyebrows are off black. They're not, you see my hair, you see my brows, they're not the same color. Do not get a black to match your hair. Okay, don't get black. I outline my brows first, top and bottom, and then kind of fill in the sparse areas. I don't outline all the way up to the front because, you know, I'm gonna do light strokes up here. Okay, so once again, you can stop there with your eyebrows filled in, but I do like to go in with a brow gel. I think it makes it look a little bit more cleaner. It makes the hairs look a little bit more defined. And it's just, if you got really curly brows and you will fill them in, and then next thing you know, you see a brow hanging, dangling down up in this area, get some brow gel, sis. Or you can use mascara. You know, save a little coin, but I like brow gel. This is a clear one, even though it's kind of brown. After mixing it with my eyebrow pencil a lot, and I just brush the hairs in the direction that I want them to go. All right, y'all, you can stop here. I keep saying that because you can stop. The thing is, people make you feel like you need to keep going, but you can stop. But for the people that's like, girl, I know all that, show me some shadow, show me some of that. Here we go. Let's jump into it. Why not? So the thing with drugstore eyeshadow palettes is that a lot of times they're like chalky. They don't have a really good creamy formula. My favorite eyeshadow palettes tend to be by Anastasia Beverly Hills. She makes a really good formula, but you can get good eyeshadow looks with the drugstore products. So my favorite drugstore products for eyeshadow is Morphe. But the thing with Morphe is that it's only at Ulta. Now, if you don't go into Ulta, you like, I'm not stepping into Ulta, you know, that makes you feel like too much of a, I don't know, trying to do too much. If you just want to go to your local beauty supply, your local drugstore, they don't have Morphe there. Morphe is only sold at Ulta and I believe online. So things that you can find at your local beauty supply. L'Oreal made like these dupe palettes a few years ago. probably way more than a few years ago. I really don't know how long ago these were, but I think these were dupes of the Naked series by Urban Decay. Even though Urban Decay shadows, I don't like Urban Decay shadows, but they had this one LA nude palette, and I feel like when you're first starting off, you wouldn't want to go into a bunch of drastic colors anyway. So this just has a bunch of nudes in it, like that. And I feel like we can get a look with this. So when you're starting off, you don't want to do a lot. You don't want to do a lot. So I'm probably just gonna use 3 colors. So I'm probably gonna use this color right here, a deeper brown right here, and then either that or that for the lid. So let's go ahead and start in that first color. And I think these were about $15. Probably like, so these are the only thing that's over 10, but it's not that bad. I go ahead and blend these out in the crease, bringing them up into my brow a little bit, like that. Whatever you do on one side, make sure you do it on the other. I'm gonna make this a really quick look. I'm gonna go ahead and use a little denser brush, and I'm gonna go in with this dark brown. Sometimes with these palettes, you kind of gotta dig for the pigment, but there you go, it's showing up. It's coming. And I put this on my lid and also bringing it into my crease and just blending it out. All right, now you could go back in with your highlighter and use one of your highlighter shades as a lid color, but just sticking with the palette, I'm going to actually, I'm gonna go with the lighter one. You can barely, oh, there you go. I'm gonna go with the lighter one for my lid, and I'm gonna use like a flat brush. Go ahead and spray it with your setting spray, because that helps you pick up the color a little bit better. Okay. And then I'm just going back with one of the brushes with no extra product on it, blending around, just having everything blend nicely into each other. One trick that I like to do so you can kind of bring out your brow bone a little bit is I use the lightest color in the palette. Normally most palettes have like some type of white or cream, and I use a very little bit and kind of brush that over into my brow bone and bring it down into the shadow. Can you kind of like see the difference that it does there? It gives you more of a lift with your brow too. Since if you notice, I didn't use any concealer to clean up, so this trick kind of lifts it. Okay, go back in with that brush with nothing else on it. Whatever residue you have left, blend everything together. So go ahead and use that same cream color and like dab it right there in the center, in the corner of your eye. It makes you look more awake and adds a little pop to it. Okay, y'all. Again, you can stop here. But I'm gonna do mascara, and I'm even gonna do lashes. So a good drugstore mascara is the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot. It's like $6.99, I think, $5.99, $4.99, somewhere in there. If you don't plan to do lashes, you can just go ham with the mascara. But I plan on putting some lashes on, so I'm just gonna do a thin coat. I'm gonna go ahead and do a lip. I'm using a liner. This is the LA Girl liner in dark brown. I feel like every black girl needs a liner, a brown liner at least, because I used to say you didn't. I used to say you can just use lipstick, which you can. If you have like a brown lipstick, go ahead and line the outer rim of your lips with brown and put whatever color you want in the center. But if we want to make these colors work for us, like if you want to wear that hot pink, if you want to wear that lime green, lime green and brown, I don't think that's gonna look good together. But regardless, if you want to do some of them crazy colors and they don't look right on your plain lips, use a brown liner. Blend it out. And then I'm going to go ahead and keep this look kind of nude. I'm going to go in with Praline, the NYX Butter Gloss. All of NYX lip products are bomb. So, except for that, what was that? That, like, that stick and peel type stuff they came out with. What are they called? Yeah, those was them crackle paint ones. I ain't like those. You could really stop here. You really could. But I'm gonna go ahead and do lashes. I'm gonna show y'all because everybody act like you need what's them super expensive lashes. Like, y'all remember your humble beginnings. Y'all was using Ardell. Don't act like that, okay? So I think a good beginner lash is the Ardell Demi Wispies. They look like that. Even though these may look a little intimidating in the package, they're not super long, they're not super doing the most, and they really look good with any look. I was looking for my lash glue. This one I actually like. I feel like this is a perfect lash glue for beginners. It's the Duo Quick Set Lash Glue. So you know, you see in videos, beauty gurus, they put the lash glue on there and they like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this while I let my lash glue dry. This sets in place really fast, so it takes the guesswork out of it. Okay, you guys, this is the final look. I went ahead and just picked out my hair. I'm gonna let my hair down a little bit. What y'all think? What y'all think? A little drugstore Beats or whatever. Okay, you guys, so make sure you comment down below other video ideas you'd like to see. Let me know how you feel about this drugstore beat. Let me know what you feel about let me know if you're gonna go out and get some of these products, or if you already have me, you like, sis, I didn't know they could do that. I didn't know I could do that with that. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video with your friends. Let's get this channel out there, and I will catch you guys next Wednesday. Remember, I post every Wednesday, so make sure you have your notification bell on, because YouTube be trying to play sometimes. YouTube be like, why do we need to tell them that you post? Why? So make sure you have that bell turned on so you can catch my videos every time I upload, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.